I assume when you talk about artistry and worship that you're referring to the creativity, the beauty, the innovation, the depth of thought, the depth of feeling that artists bring to worship. And I think therein lies some of the benefits, some of the contributions that the arts can make to worship. And the verse that comes to mind immediately is Psalm 33:3, which says, play skillfully is unto the Lord. So at its best, we artists, we bring a level of skill to what we do that hopefully enhances worship. I mean, that's the whole purpose is to enhance it and just make it more accessible and help people to participate on a deeper level. When it comes to artistry in worship, I can't imagine human beings doing worship without some form of artistry, because that's kind of who we are. We're creative, because we are made in the image of a creative God. And so we naturally bring creativity to things. So it's a wonderful thing, actually. I think what's unique about it, first of all, and maybe I contrast that with making art for like a secular purpose or something like that. In a church setting, in a worship setting, your motives are different, and the purpose is different. And who you're accountable to is different as well. And I think where I see this really stand out is in the book of Exodus. When you get to the middle of the book of Exodus, if you're an artist, your heart kind of starts beating faster, because you realize what's going on here is that God has a thing to do. Build the tabernacle, create all the furniture and Aaron's vestments and everything. And God gives details. And more importantly, he calls those with specific skills. He calls artists to do all this stuff. And we're introduced to an artist that actually, when we get to heaven, he's one of the first guys I'm going to look up. His name is Bezalel. And this is Exodus 35, starting verse 30. Moses said to the Israelites, "See, the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom and with understanding." So first of all, this guy was a deeply spiritual man. And then it says that he also has knowledge with all kinds of skills. And what are those skills? Verse 32, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of artistic crafts. And so right there, that's our model as far as what it means to be a godly artist, spiritually deep and spiritually knowledgeable about God and God's will. But also you have a skill, a God-given skill that he's asking you and inviting you to put into play. And I think one of the things that makes it really different in the church, as far as using your arts in the church, is the purpose is very different, because especially if you go to a competitive music school like I did, you're really taught to express yourself, and it's art for the sake of art, and I get that, I understand it. But when you're doing something for church, for worship, you're serving God, you're serving the people, and you're serving your pastor. And so it's much more. There's something bigger at stake here. And I love this in chapter 39. If you're reading carefully, there's a little phrase that stands out here, because all the artists are together and they're making Aaron's priestly garments. In verse 1, it says, they also made garments for Aaron as the Lord commanded Moses. And that phrase rings out throughout this chapter. I'm skipping down now to verse 5. Skillfully woven waistband, that's what they're working on. one piece with the ephod, made with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, very detailed, finely twisted linen, so all this beauty, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 7, then they fastened them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And skipping down to verse 21, they tied the ring of the breast piece to the rings of the ephod with the blue cord connecting it to the waistband, so that the breast piece could not be swung from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And I know you're getting bored here already, but hang on here. Got just a couple more. The sash was made of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. Very beautiful. The work of an embroiderer, somebody who knows what they're doing, as the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 31, then they fastened a blue cord to it to attach it to the turban, as the Lord commanded Moses. And lastly, in verse 42, the Israelites had done all the work just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And so that really speaks to me and convicts me about my motives as an artist. Am I here to serve myself and make myself look good, or am I really here to glorify God and fit in with the mission of the church, which is to make disciples of all the nations and raise God's name and the banner of God's love? And is that really my purpose, or am I up there trying to draw attention to myself? Am I pointing people to Jesus or myself? Because the world, making art in the secular world, it's all about you. But in the church and in worship, it's not. We do things as the Lord commands us. We're accountable to God, and that's what matters.